Hey guys, welcome to a very long, very unprofessional scam baiting video. I hope that when you see the length of this, it doesn't turn you off. I promise there's a couple of nice giggles at times. So I'm going to jump right into it. A little while ago, I was contacted by Olivia Diassi, claiming to be a soldier for the United Nations, and all she really wanted to do was just chat, make some friends. So of course I told her, "A soldier for United Nations, tell me more." Then we get some boilerplate uh, pasted stuff. I'm not going to read all of this, but we also get a picture. This is what I jumped onto because, of course, pictures let you do reverse lookups, reverse image searches, and the first result shows that this is actually Captain Hannah Winterbourne, the British Army's highest-ranking transgender soldier. Certainly not Olivia Diassi from, what was it, Buffalo, New York. So I ask her what she wants to know, and wow, you look exactly like Hannah Winterbourne, the highest ranking transgender soldier in the British Army. Are you related to her? And what I get back is, good morning, sir. I remain my humble self, Sergeant Olivia Diassi, question mark, followed by more copy paste stuff. Um, and I don't care about any of this copy paste stuff, but the fact that she doesn't seem to know her own name really worries me. So I get back to her about that. Why did you put a question mark at the end of your first sentence? Are you asking me if you're Sergeant Olivia Diassi? I assume you know your own name. Are you sure you're not related to Hannah Winterbourne? The picture you sent looks a lot like her. And she doesn't really address this except that she's Olivia Diassi, and if I don't want to assist her, I should just be double open. And of course, I can't just let this poor woman not get her money. So I tell her that I really want to assist her. I'm very open, and that I was just confused by her question mark. And that could have been the end of it. But the great thing is that she doesn't really understand. She tells me, "Good morning. How was your night? Hope you had an awesome night. Glory be to God." Dear, which of my question that confused you? So now it's time to teach her a little bit English. I love being a little bit condescending to these to these scammers. It's always a fun time. So I just do no point to really read this, but I just kind of give her some some basic language lessons about what a question mark is. So she tells me, "Thank you for the correction, okay, and have I agreed to receive the money?" And I respond to "Thank you for the correction, okay," with "You're welcome for the correction, okay." And now what do I need to do to assist her? Again, we get a lot of pasted stuff I don't care about, and she wants a bunch of my information that you should really never give to any. So I come up with some random information. And also in the previous email and the one before that, she offered me 10% of the $850,000 that she is trying to get through customs. Um, and I tell her that, well, first of all, I tell her that the phone number that I've provided may not work, as my phone has been chewed on by my cat recently. I also tell her that in my culture, 10 is a very unlucky number. So I think 10% of the funds will doom this venture. Would you please consider some other percentage? And then I just give her some bullshit information. Um, Now, you might be wondering that why am I bothering to haggle about the percentage? Well, there's two reasons. One, I really want to keep the scammer busy with pointless questions, but also I want them to think that I'm greedy, because that will keep me believable for longer, which also allows me to waste more time. When I say that 10 is an unlucky number, they probably think, oh, this guy just wants more of the money. All right. So they completely ignore my question about the percentage, and now they're asking me to contact the director, which turns out to be the director for the Red Cross in, I want to say, Indonesia, something like that. Um, and so they've sent my details to him. And very important to note at the end here is that she now loves me with all her heart. So that's cool. So let's wait a bit on contacting director because you didn't answer the question I asked in my last email about the percentage. Should I take this up with the director? Yes, dear, I've answered your question and gave the director email to contact him. What are you waiting, dear, before contacting him? Please contact How and get back to me immediately. Okay, I'll ask the director about changing the percentage. And so I do. Here's my first email to Mark James, who might be the same person, might be a different person. It's not really clear. It doesn't really matter. I asked the director if I could to get some other percentage than 10% because 10% is very bad luck in my culture. And meanwhile, Olivia is waiting to hear from me shortly. So I get an answer back from Mark James. Copy pasted stuff I don't care about. By the way, sometimes when you see me blur out things, it's because I don't know if any of these are real addresses. For example, earlier when I sent them my address, I made an address up on the spot that I later found out is a real address, and I don't, I don't think it matters, but I guess I just don't want to be posting real addresses on here. And then they follow that up with another copy paste in German. So I guess they do these scams in a few different languages. And for those of you who don't speak German, this doesn't say much except that there's 650 euros to be paid to get this money through. But of course, I am very confused by this, and I tell them that I don't understand German, which is totally not true. But that it doesn't matter because this doesn't seem to have anything with the percentage Olivia and I spoke about, so that I will contact Olivia again. And so I tell Olivia that I asked the director about the percentage change, but he just wrote to me in German. Are you sure he's a professional? Maybe we should use someone else to help us move the money. If he won't discuss the percentage, can we please work it out? It's always fun to throw doubt on, quote unquote, the other person. If they are two different people, it's funny because now I'm insulting their, let's say, coworker. And if they are the same person, it's even funnier because I'm insulting them to their face. So then at the same time, Mark James gets back to me telling me that this is about a custom clearance fee. And Olivia Diassi gets very upset with me. She's really confused with me. She's agreed to give me 15%. She hasn't. And what does the director have to do with this? Now there's some exclamations. There's, oh my God, dear, if you know you can't pay it, then kindly quit from me. I don't know what that means, but I guess it means to leave her alone. You have provoked me by telling the director about the percentage. Oh dear. So she asked me, why did I do such a thing? And I have an answer ready for that. I did because you told me to. I mean, I misspelled too there, but compared to their spelling mistakes, I think I'm still okay. And if she looks back through the email conversation, she will see that this is a little bit of malicious compliance on my part. I did exactly what she told me to do. Anyway, now that she told me it's 15%, that's great. 15 is a very lucky number in my culture, and I'm sure the inspector will understand. In fact, he has just written back to me with a translation of his German email, which is right here. Equally boring boilerplate stuff, but it does tell me where to send the money and how. So they want $650, so it's no longer euros, now it's dollars. And they want it sent through Western Union money transfer or MoneyGram, so that on Monday the diplomatic agent can arrive in my country to hand over the consignment box to me. And my urgent respond is needed. So I have two things to hook onto here. Actually, three things. One, I have no idea what MoneyGram is or Western Union. Never heard of those services. And they also need my urgent respond. I want to know what that is. And lastly, I'd really love to know who David Jones is, because I'm being contacted by Olivia Diassi and Mark James. So who the heck is David Jones? And I also shoot back to Olivia at the same time to try and confuse things a matter about how this money is getting where. So he says it's 650 euros. Will the package have $850,000 in it? Those questions are completely ignored. I'm being asked if I can send the money today or tomorrow. And I just kind of say, yeah. But then I realize something. If I'm sending them money to receive money, what if there's another custom clearance fee for the money that I'm sending? I hope they don't ask for the custom clearance fee for my package that I put the 650 euros inside, because then we could be stacking custom clearance fees forever. Wouldn't that be terrible? So I'm explained that no, this is for clearing the box from the airport. So you have to send the money to them. Please, I don't want too much words about it. We can't have that. We need to have as many words about it as possible. So I tell her that, of course, I understand what the money is for. I just don't know how to send the money. Will Mr. James, the director, tell me how? Will a poor man tell me what to do? Yes, Dr. Mark James will tell you how to send the money. Please contact him. So they still have to pretend that they're not either the same person or in touch with each other. And I tell her that I contacted him, but things are a bit strange. He's getting me to send money to a David Jones, and he asked me about an urgent respond. Do you think it's German? This is just a reference to the fact that one of the emails was in German. Meanwhile, Mark James gets back to me telling me that Mr. Jones was his secretary. More, it reminds me again about Western Union or MoneyGram. But this first sentence is really what got me going, because David Jones was his secretary. So I get back to Olivia and tell them that I'm a little bit suspicious. So this top email you already saw earlier, but I tell them that, are you sure we can trust Mr. James? I am worried for your safety, Olivia, because today I talked to Mr. James again, and he's seeming more suspicious. He told me David Jones was his secretary. He said was. I think it means he's dead. Do you think he's killed him? Please be safe. So again, just like I made a point of being very greedy earlier, now I'm making a point of being very gullible. So that it seems plausible that I'm just not understanding very basic things. So now we are the ones to get berated for our English. Dear, if you're here to learn how to peak English, just be open to me. How does these words you're saying related to what we're here for? Mr. Jones is his secretary since many years. Who killed him? Please, if you don't understand English very well, go and learn more. Are you sending the money to him today or not? I don't have much time to spend there. Now, I count 8 grammatical and spelling errors in there. If you can find more, bonus points to you. But of course, I let her know that I'm not here to learn English. I already speak English. I was just worried for you. Please don't be angry. I'm doing my best to make sure the money gets to you safely. I'll be working tonight, so cannot send money. That's, by the way, the first true thing I've told them, is that night I was working. And I get the idea about different money transfer services. You'll find this, some of the things I do here are things I've kind of stolen from other people online who do these videos. They make up ridiculous names for money transfer services, and I've come up with my own Finnish flavored one. I'm waiting to hear back from Mr. James to see if I can use Paska Transfer to send him the money, since there's no MoneyGram office in my town. I'm asked how Paska Transfer works, which I'm very happy about, because I will explain it to them. And if it means there's no Western Union in my town. And I'm also being given this message at the end there with lots of love. So I told them that everything's already closed. It's 9 p.m. here, second true thing I've told them, and that there's no way to send it today. I tell them that Paska Transfer, which if you're not Finnish, Paska means shit, uses the System for Honorable International Transfer, which of course also abbreviates to shit, and that it's the international banking system we use from Finland. I try to get them to do a bit of work, and see if they can find out for me if we have a Western Union here. And I'm being told that, don't worry about it now. Do it in the morning. One love. Keep us together. Oh yeah, she also tells me to live it tomorrow morning instead of leave it. So I jump on that as well and ask that what does live it mean. And then again, I tried to get her to do Googling for me. I was really hoping that I could get her to look up where the nearest Western Union was in Kemi, so that she would tell me where to go, because that would waste a bit more of their time as well. But that doesn't happen. I also tell her that I must say I've not heard from Mr. James in quite a while, and I hope that whoever killed Mr. Jones, I said my Jones there, didn't also kill Mr. James. And my misspelling of Mr. here does create some misunderstanding there. Dear, I said everything will be tomorrow, since it is night there. Do you have a brother that called Jones, and who killed him? Please try to make inquiry this night where you still get Western Union money transfer or MoneyGram, okay? I wish you the best. Yes, everything will be tomorrow. Jones is not my brother. He is Mr. James's secretary. Well, he was, meaning he's now dead or fired. So I don't know why Mr. James wants me to send money to someone who is not his secretary anymore. But don't worry, dear Olivia. I'm sure it's all a misunderstanding. Mr. James and I will soon clear up. As soon as I know from him who to send the money to, I will be able to do it. And so Mark James is coming back to me asking me that what do I mean by that? Mr. David Jones was my personal secretary for more than 5 years. Which Jones are you talking about, dear? If you cannot find Western Union, yada, yada, yada. So time to get back into English teaching. Yeah, you said he was your personal secretary in the past tense. So if he was your personal secretary, who is now at this moment your secretary? I will not send the money to your old secretary if he is no longer employed by you. Just safety first, right? I've located a Western Union office near me, so please inform me about who your current secretary is, not who he was. Dear, Mr. David Jones is my current secretary. You can tell they're getting tired now. I'm not here to exchange words with you. First thing in the morning, send the money to me and the payment details. If you want to learn English from me, I will teach you thereafter, okay? I always love when they put like okay at the end of things. It's just a little bit of flavor. So then I tell Mr. James that, just like I told Olivia, I don't want to learn English. I already speak it. In fact, it seems it is you who do not understand how the English language works. Make my own mistake there, a little bit of irony. You must understand that it's very important for me to send the money to the right person. So when you tell me someone was your secretary, of course I assume he no longer is. But it's very good that you have clarified your mistake, throw a bit of shade, so that I may send the money to your current secretary, Mr. Jones. After this, if you want me to teach you English, I can do that. Dear, I want to know if you have sent the money as we have agreed. And then I get back to Olivia, kind of annoy things there. Olivia gets back to me saying that you are the one that misunderstanding the director, when the director said he was his secretary, meaning that he have worked with him for many years, but to your own understanding, you think that he has been fired. No, please. He's working with him, okay? Try all your best to send the money as you promised first thing in the morning. Well, Olivia, it's not my fault the director does not understand how the English language works. In this case, he should have said, Mr. Jones has been my secretary for 5 years, which is very different from Mr. Jones was my secretary for 5 years. Please tell me, Olivia, why did you work with this stupid director who does not know how to use the English language? Is there no one better you can trust? So again, just either playing two people up against each other or just really insulting one to their face. Equally funny either way. Mistake or no mistake has nothing to do with the money that you want send, and stop using abusive words on him, please. I'm really confused, honestly. If you don't want to send the money, again, just tell me, because I have not seen any fault on the director's side. Nobody is above mistake. Even you that put correction across the director, you're making mistake too. Please, this is French country, so their native language is French. how well you have gone in sending the money to director. Wow. Amazing there. And of course, I let her know that I have no idea the main language is French in there because I don't know anything. Uh, of course, I think there's a kind of a mistake there. The native language of Senegal, well, might be a bunch of things, might be French including there, but Indonesia for sure, it is not. Anyway, I ignored that and tell her that now all it starts to make sense. I tell them that I have just come back from the Western Union office, but they only take cash, so I have to take it from my account, and I can only take out 250 per day. So I have sent the first 250 now. As you might have guessed, obviously I haven't sent any money, and now things do get a little bit interesting. So they want the payment details. So for those of you who don't know how this works, there's a couple of things that they need. The main one being the MTCN if you're using Western Union. It's just a little number that they use to make sure that this money is meant for you. So I give it to them. And at this point, they ask for my name as well. I don't have that image, but I tell them that, what do you mean my name? It's Kat Oshiko, which they should have known. And then when I think that they have left to the office, I tell them that I got a message from someone tried to withdraw the funds without presenting official government ID for the name of David Jones. So here's how it works officially. When you retrieve money, you're not only supposed to give them this MTCN and the name of the person who sent it, but technically you're supposed to present a government-issued ID. And my thought was that these scammers, either they are Western Union agents, or their cousins are the Western Union agents, or they have a fake ID. So, I don't think they are using their legitimate IDs to pick up this money. I don't think that the real name of the person picking up the money is David Jones, because I don't think they would expose their real names like that. So that got me thinking that I could maybe seed some discord here, or at least some confusion. So I told them that I got an email from Western Union, and that I had copy-pasted from this email. So I just get a Western Union logo from somewhere, and I tell them that the email I got is as following. Dear Sir, Madam, we are writing to inform you that the transfer made on October 5th of $250 from Kemi, Finland has been frozen. The reason for this is that on October 5th, a person with the MTCN for this transfer arrived, but could not identify themselves correctly at Mr. David Jones, the recipient you have specified. Please write us back to let us know if we should return the funds to you or specify a different recipient. And then I make up some name that sounds Finnish, even though I don't think anyone would put an there in a name like that. And at this point, I thought I lost them because a lot of time went past before I heard back from them. I don't know if the Western Union office is far away from them, or if they were, contacting some of the people in their organization that, hey, did you tip us off, or what happened here? And I'm really hoping that this caused a bit of confusion, but I can't really tell, because you'll see that very soon after this, the jig is going to be up. So I also sent an email to Olivia letting her know that they've frozen the transfer. And again, I take some time to badmouth Mark James. I know you told me not to speak badly of him, but it is amazing how everything is always going slowly because of him and his secretary. I think he knows what's in the consignment, and he's trying to keep the money for himself. So again, if they are two different persons, that's really great, because I'm basically telling one of them that the other person keeps screwing up. Anyway, I'm being told that the director cannot do that, but thank God the Western Union there froze the transfer because an unknown person wanted to pull the money out. I've spoke with the director, and he says he's written to you to send the money with his name. I'm really happy. Please, dear, do not think that the director is trying to keep the money for himself. So she's gone from protecting the director and being like kind of outraged that I'm speaking badly of him, to feeling like, oh, this does look suspicious, so I really need to reinsure him. And I tell her that if you trust them, I also trust them. Now, this is the last I heard from the Olivia account, but here we go. Here's Mark James, and so he's told me to send it directly to him. Again, I don't know that Mark James is a real name. But of course, I get him to send a few more emails, because should I sell it now, or do I wait until I have all the money on Monday? No, just send the 250 now. Do you want me to send it under the name of Mark James, still to the car in Senegal? Yes, but if you can't do it today, then let's do it on Monday. No, of course I can do it now. They've already refunded me the money. I'll be ready to send it soon. I will let you know when the payment is made. By what time should I be expecting it? So I get a little bit silly here again. It takes me about 15 minutes to get to the Western Union and 5 minutes to come back, because, my bike goes much faster down mountain. You probably all know that if you look up Kemi online, it's not a very mountainous area. So in 20 minutes, I will have the NTCN for you. So about 25, 30 minutes later, I told them I sent it. But I'm asking, is it safe to send you the MTCN on this email? Because what if somebody else has hacked his email, or is, trying to take the money again? He ensures me that no one have access to his email box, only him. And so here it is. Now you see that I've highlighted the first three numbers there. I make sure the MTCN starts with 419. Which some of you will recognize as the code for this kind of advance fee money scam. And I tell them I also have a screenshot, because I'd created a fake screenshot. I'd done a really bad job of it. They wanted it, so I send it to them, and this is where they finally catch on, because I'd done such a shit job of it. So I didn't get them to take a second job. You can see here that I really messed up by only putting one line there. I think that was where they immediately realized that something's wrong here, and so they probably didn't look at the picture right away. And then I tell them that I hope the Western Union office is not far from them, while I tell some friends that I hope it's nice and far for them. And the next response, this is finally the end, is, do you think you can play game on me, idiot? You went and edit Western Union transfer slip and sent to me. I will tell Mrs. Olivia to block you, fool. So they're finally upset. And this thing tells me that I think that they are two different people, is that they make a point of telling me that they've told the other person to block me. Maybe to stop me from annoying the other person more and getting more time wasted out of them. I still try to get back to them a little bit, just see if I could provoke more angry responses from them. But they never replied.